Hello students, I am Irfan Raza. Welcome back to my geography class. Today we are going to continue the remaining topic of class 10th geography, chapter 1, resources and development. Dear students, as you know that all the chapters of class 10th geography are related to different types of resources. We started this chapter with meaning of resources, then classification of resources, after that resource planning, and our last topic was conservation of resources. Now it is time to get detailed information of each resource. So we are going to start with land resources. Land is the most important natural resource as it supports different types of economic activities, forest, wildlife, transport and communication systems. At the same time, we have to keep in our mind that it has limited extension. That is why it becomes more important to use the available land with careful planning. India has different landforms like mountains, plains, plateaus, coastal plains, desert and islands. The largest area of land is covered by plains, which is about 43%. It is the main source of producing different types of crops and support industries. About 30% land area covered by mountains, that is the main source of a number of perennial rivers and natural beauties. Perennial river means those rivers which have water throughout the year. About 27% of land area comes under plateau, which is the storehouse of minerals. In this way, we learned that land is really very valuable resource. Now let us discuss the next topic. It is land utilization or use of land. Land resources are used for the following purposes. The first one is forest. According to the National Forest Policy 1952, 33% of forest is essential for maintenance of the ecological balance. But unfortunately, in India, the total forest is only 21.67%. According to the 2019 report, which is lower than desired percentage. So this indicates that we need to encourage afforestation. Second one is land not available for cultivation. It means land is not used for growing crops and it is of two types. First, barren and waste land means infertile land. Second is land put to non-agricultural uses. These are the lands where buildings, roads, factories, schools, college, hospitals are found. Now third one is other uncultivated land, excluding fallow land. These are There are some other lands which are also not used to grow crops. These are of three types. First is permanent pasture and grazing land. Pasture and grazing land means land covered with grass and other low plants where cattle graze. Second is land under miscellaneous tree crops groves not included in net zone area. These are the land used for growing fruit trees, that is also called orchard. Third is cultivable wasteland, left uncultivated for more than 5 agriculture years. Actually, sometimes farmers do not grow any crop on a piece of land for more than 5 years, and such land is called cultivable wasteland. Next one is fallow land. It means it is a piece of land which is not used by a farmer intentionally to restore land's fertility as a part of crop rotation. So it is of two types. First is current fallow, which is left uncultivated for 6 months or 1 year. Second is other than current fallow, when a farmer does not grow crops for the past 1 to 5 agriculture years. Now the last one is net sown area. It is the total area sown with crops only once in a year, while the total area sown with crops more in a year known as gross cropped area. So this was all about land utilization. Now the next topic is land use pattern in India. The use of land is determined by physical and human factors. The physical factors include topography or different landforms, climate, soil types, etc. While human factors include population density, technological capability, and culture and tradition. As you all know that total geographical area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. But you will be surprised to know that the land use data is available only for 93% of the total area. This is because except Assam, other northeastern states do not have land use reporting. In the same manner, some area of Jammu and Kashmir occupied by Pakistan and China have also not been surveyed. I hope you understood the reason why India has only 93% of land use data. Now move to the next. Here we see two pie charts showing land use data of 1960, 61 and 2008-9. So we will have a comparative study of these two pie charts and try to find out changes under land use from 1960-61 to 2008-9. So let us start. First, we are going to separate all the data. This will be our first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth and ninth. In the same manner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. According to the chart, the first one is net sown area, which has increased from 45.26% to 46.24%. It means some wasteland is converted into agricultural land, which is a positive and healthy sign. Second one is area under forest, which has increased from 18.11% to 23.78%. That is also a good sign, but still it is far lower than desired 33%. Third one is barren and uncultivated wasteland, which has decreased from 12.01% to 8.61%. It shows that these lands have been shifted to use of other activities. Fourth one is area under non-agriculture uses. This has increased by 4.95% to 5.57%. Fifth one is permanent pasture and grazing land. This has decreased from 4.71% to 3.38%. which is an alarming sign because cattle depend on grazing land to feed themselves. Now the sixth one is area under miscellaneous tree crops and groves. This land area has decreased from 1.50% to 1.11%. Seventh one is culturable wasteland. This type of land has decreased from 6.23% to 4.17%. This is good that wastelands are converted into other economic activities. Eighth one is fallow other than current fallow land. This type of land has slightly decreased from 3.50% to 3.37%. We have already discussed that the meaning of fallow and current fallow land. So on that basis, this is a balanced change as soil fertility is also important. The last one is current fallow. This land has increased from 3.73% to 4.76%. This change can be considered as good because it allows the land to gain fertility by natural processes. Thus, we have completed the topic land use pattern in India with the help of these two pie charts. So what kind of explanation I have given, so you can find in this paragraph and this one also. So let's move to the next topic. Our last topic is for land resources is land degradation and conservation measures. First we will discuss the meaning of land degradation, then we will see what are the methods by which we can stop or control this degradation. So land degradation refers to the continuous use of land over a long period of time without taking appropriate measures to conserve and manage it. In other words, we can define it as when the quality or fertility of land decreases due to overexploitation is also known as land degradation. Here a data has been given which shows that about 130 million hectares of land is degraded. Approximately 28% of it belongs to forest. 56% of it is water eroded area, means due to heavy rain soil erosion damaged the land, and the rest is affected by saline and alkaline deposits in which soils have been harmed by soluble salt and acids. Now see what are the causes of land degradation. The first one is mining. The place of mining is abandoned or abdicated after the excavation work is done. Due to that, deep hole or scars are left over there. Especially in states like Orissa, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, mining work caused severe land degradation. Now, the second cause is overgrazing. In states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, cattle overgrazed the grassland, converted into barren land. The third cause is over irrigation. In the states of Punjab, Haryana and Western UP, over irrigation and water logging lead to increased salinity and alkalinity in the soil. Means the amount of salt and acid increase, which also harm the fertility of soil, leading to a barren land. Now see the next one. The fourth cause is mineral processing. In cement industry and ceramic industry means an industry where pots and other articles made from clay harden by heat, also known as chini mitti ke bartan. So here you should know that in these industries limestone soapstones are crushed or grinded. Due to that, huge quantity of dust particles spread into the atmosphere. It also settles down on the land and retards or stop the process of infiltration of water. It means the water does not go inside the earth into the soil, and because of that what happened, so the land is degraded. So this is a very harmful for both atmosphere and land. Now the fifth one is industrial effluents. Effluents means waste, so we can say that industrial waste. So harmful chemicals are discharged by industries, sometimes thrown on land. So that is also a major cause of land degradation. Thus we learned that these are the causes of land degradation. Now let us discuss how we can overcome these problems. The problem of land degradation can be solved in these ways. We can encourage afforestation and proper management of grazing. The second one is we can also promote planting of shelter belts of plant. Shelter belt is a process in which plants are planted in a line to protect a land by wind erosion. So this method will help to control on overgrazing and stabilization of sand dunes. It stops the movement of sandy soil by the action of wind. After that, the other measures can be control of on mining activities, proper management of wasteland, proper discharge and disposal of industrial waste. So these are the other methods or measures by which we can check land degradation. So in this way we have completed the topic land resources. Our next topic is soil as a resource, that we will discuss in our next video. Thank you for watching my video.